alcohol, but check me again in 2 hours. Everything's pretty good. I mean, I feel really grateful to, be with my husband, be with my dog. I'm actually being pretty productive, which is nice. And, some days I do nothing and just feel like a piece of garbage, and other days I feel great. So,
I get
how are you?
I myself I get frustrated with endless people who seem to be learning Mandarin, learning how to
Oh,
fly a
yeah.
plane, reading 50 novels a day. It's
Yeah.
for me, it's just getting through from 9 till 9 is the struggle.
No, I really hate those people. Like all the things that are like Shakespeare wrote something during some flu, or Isaac Newton came up with a theory of relativity. I'm like, this is a lot of pressure. I don't need.
We
Yeah.
need to be we need to be kind to each other. Exactly.
Yes.
I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. Firstly, your go-to isolation snack. Are you a big snacker? I'm a big snacker.
I am a big snacker. So I actually did a live. The only other guest live, or no, I guess this is actually my third live. No big deal.
Hey, okay, all
But
right. No boasting.
the first live I did was with Tan France.
Oh yeah.
And I'm obsessed. Sorry, my son is barking. He wants to get in the live. Yeah. I'm a huge Greatest British Baking Show fan. Down.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. I only knew Tan from Queer Eye.
Sure.
So I agreed to do a baking live with him. And of course he was incredible. And I was totally intimidated after I found out he won the celebrity edition.
Right,
You guys
okay.
have a different name for it, right? It's not.
Oh, is it the Great British Bake Off? Is it that?
That's
sort
the
of
show.
Okay, yeah.
So we made these incredible cookies, and he sent me the recipe, and he gave me like the longest slit of like the biggest portion. So I ended up making about 100 cookies. So I've been
Nice.
making them I froze them, and I've been making them every day, and it's not great for my health, but I don't care.
Okay, good. That sounds good. What about now? You've got a friend there with you. Is that Columbo?
Yes, it is.
How old is
He's
Columbo now?
He's 1 year old. He's in his crate. He's learning to be a good boy.
Oh, look at that. Amazing. And what?
He's very annoyed with me right now because he'd rather be outside, but it's raining. So.
And how is having? I used to have a dog. Sadly, the dog passed away, which is a sad thing.
Oh,
But I hear the poor dogs, because now obviously the owners are stuck inside with these dogs. There is a serious case of over petting going on. Like the dogs.
He's so sick of me. He wants me to get off him, but I will not. So, I mean, we've been trying to, he's still a puppy, but he's 80 pounds. So it's pretty important that we continue to train him. So we have been doing the crate training at night, but it's very difficult for me. I'd like him to be attached to my body at all times.
I saw you. Were you trying to explain? Now, maybe you can explain this to me. Were you trying to explain TikTok to the dog?
I mean, he watches them with me begrudgingly. Okay, you're coming out then, I guess. Because he's not a huge fan of the sounds that they make,
Right.
of the dancing and everything else. But yeah, he's sort of getting with the program. He has no choice.
Yeah, exactly. How are your TikToks? Was this something you were trying to learn in isolation to TikTok?
Yes, but guess what? They're actually really hard. Come here, baby. They're really, really hard. Here he is.
I'm kind of trying to be sort of a bit snobbish about it, but really only because I know I'm going to fail miserably if
Well, there's actually some really political TikToks because it has sort of this insane algorithm which we don't think about too much of how they're so good at knowing what we want to see. But there's a lot more than just the dancing. So if you want to get a little political on TikTok, I think I could see that for you.
Well, I could try. I mean, I wanted to bring this up with you, and I know we don't want to get, we don't want to kill the buzz, but I know there was some sad news yesterday. We were sad over in the UK. I know you, as a Bernie Sanders supporter, was sad about him dropping out of the race.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of felt like kicking me while I'm down a bit, just in the sense that, I feel like more than ever in this moment with everything that's going on with coronavirus, so much of his messages and his ideas about Medicare for all feel just glaringly obvious. So it was really disappointing to drop out here. And I'm kind of not thinking about it today, is what I would say.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, we felt your pain, and we are optimistic as you are for democracy, hopefully in the States and the rest of the world. Of course, it's a hard time everyone is going through. I wanted to talk to you about your very dark secret that you've talked to me about before, Emily. The
What's
dark
that?
secret that you do at night, alone, in bed, just
Uh-oh,
before
where'd
you
this
go
go?
to sleep.
British GQ is getting really weird over here.
No, the writing, of course, the writing.
Oh, yeah.
What were you thinking of? What could you possibly be thinking of?
I actually do write a lot when I can't sleep on my phone in my notes program. I've actually, so what we were saying about being productive and not productive, last week was a week where I was like, okay, so you have no purpose in your life. You sit around and you eat and like pet your dog who's sick of you. And that's about it. You have no purpose. And then this week I've actually been a little bit more productive, which does feel really good. And I think it just comes in waves. But yeah.
Can you tell us, can you give us, I know I don't feel allowed to say this. Can we say that we have a book planned? You have a book planned, right?
Yes. I mean, it's a collection of essays. It is a book I'm working on, basically, essentially filling it out and writing as much as I can in this time. It is a good time to write, I will say. That's one of the things that quarantine has offered me is less distractions. Yeah, no, it's sort of a book of essays about my experience with feminism and power and image.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, I can't wait for that. And as you say, it's not a bad time to kind of hunker down and try and get some things done that I've always wanted to be done, I guess. In that
Also, though, if you're not doing that, like you said, it's okay.
it's totally
I have to like think that way because right now I'm feeling like totally everyone should be writing their dissertation, but like that's not going to happen. So.
No, exactly. So to go on to that, I know that you were going to give us some isolation essentials. I guess your lockdown most loved. So we were going to talk briefly about 3 books potentially that some viewers out there can pick up and might find interesting.
So I actually couldn't find my copy because this was one that I read a while ago, but and I'm sure that a ton of your viewers have already read it, but just in case they haven't, I really recommend Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I actually got to sneak preview the adaptation of her other book, Normal People, on Hulu. And it's really exciting. It's great. And I think people will love to see that. I personally like Conversations with Friends more as a book. It's a really easy read. You'll like feel like you're watching a movie. You're with her throughout everything. It's really interesting and relatable, but also kind of political and sneaky ways. It doesn't feel obnoxious. And it's just like really good writing.
Fantastic. We're big fans here. In fact, we're going to have and I forget her name, forgive me, but the leading actress who's in that adaptation on our show on the GQ Happy Hour, not next week, but the week after when it airs in the UK. So that's,
she's incredible. And I think that I've spent a lot of time in Ireland because my parents have a house in Bantry in West Cork, and it's very true. It's a very Irish show, which I think is really cool, and I know was important to Sally Rooney to maintain that. So for people who care about the book, I think they'll be very happy with the adaptation. But I also think they should read Conversations with Friends, and I don't want that book to fall to the side. I think it's actually it's really, really special. So that's one of the ones on my list.
Great. Very good choice.
Another one I have in front of me is All About Love by Bell Hooks. Bell Hooks is this amazing writer, activist, feminist, theorist, and somebody recommended this book to me. It's one of her more recent ones. She's written a ton, and some are more famous than others. And this book is interesting because I don't think I would read a book about love in general, just because it can get kind of self-helpy and mushy. And I think what's so amazing about her is that she's so smart and such a clear, concise writer that when she's talking about something like love, which seems like mushy and abstract and whatever else, it really feels like spiritual almost reading her writing about it. And it's sort of a nice, positive look at at love and how we can live our lives in a more loving and better way, which again sounds cheesy, but it's really not. If you've read any of her other work, like you'll know what I'm saying. So that's on my list.
Are you a romantic, Emily, at heart? Are you someone? Are you? I know your husband is probably there with you, but do you like to be wined and dined, or you?
I do.
Is that what you're seeing?
I think that this book is more about like not about that kind of love. It's about like the way that individuals can grow through real, true love, and how we can like really discover ourselves and feel safe and supported. And I definitely believe in that.
Right.
I think whining and those kind of gestures are awesome, but that's not how everyone loves.
No, for sure. And last one, do you have another one? Last one for us, or was it?
Yes, my son is very excited right now.
That's good. Columbo.
Hilton Hall's White Girl.
Right.
I don't know if the title is really a good one. I think I posted a picture where it was like sort of in the background, and I got a lot of comments like, oh my God, she's reading White Girl, like a book called White Girls. Well, yes, I am. Hilton Hall's is amazing. This book came out almost 10 years ago. It's a collection of essays. I think the first one is probably the most powerful. Just read it. Like it's an amazing book.
It's a good book. I know the book very well. And what about films, Emily? How are you doing with your viewing? Are you? I'm
kind of like oscillating between high and low. Last night we watched 90 Day Fiance.
Okay.
I don't know if you have that, but it's incredible and a little depressing. So it just sort of like sometimes you're not sure where that kind of stuff is going to hit. And like at first we were like, this is funny, like crazy people like getting engaged to foreigners, trying to get visas. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh no, this is actually like incredibly dark and depressing.
Right.
So we did not continue to watch that, but catch us in 2 days and we'll be back into it.
Exactly.
It's sort of like Love Island. I feel like you guys have Love Island. Like you have this weird feeling where you're like, this is trash and I'm loving it. It's so enjoyable. And then the next moment you're like, okay, this is actually terrible.
You have that feeling of just wanting to go for a bath or something afterwards. That's the main problem, I think.
Yeah. Yes. That's definitely true. But for movies, I really liked Elizabeth Moss's Invisible Man.
Okay.
It's kind of a horror film, but it has a lot, I think, to say about gaslighting and like women's experiences. But it also features like a mad scientist, and Elizabeth Moss is incredible. Like she'll sell you on any insane narrative, which is very cool. It's super like entertaining. Like you're going to be like every 5 seconds and whatever else. But also it's got cool messaging. So that's on my list.
Love that.
I also just watched Little Women.
Okay. Very good.
So I'm super embarrassed to admit that because obviously I'm very late to the party.
No, it's good. Get around to it.
But my husband and I was sobbing. I read the book like a long time ago. And I hadn't really remembered some of the heartbreaking twists and turns, but it's really cool the way that Greta shot it because it's out of order. So it sort of flashes like back to their childhood as we're in sort of the more present day. And just like incredible acting. It's kind of fun to watch like all these familiar faces play these roles that I feel like iconic to me. Come here, baby.
How was, I have to ask you just because I think, my obsession is just as much as everyone else's. Timothy, how is Timothy Chalamet's performance in that?
He's amazing. I mean, he's like the one male character and he's so good in it.
Good hair, amazing hair.
Great hair. I'm friends with Timothy and he's just as charming in real life. He's like definitely women love him because he's so great.
I think women, men, dogs, like I think he's got them lined up. I think there's no problem.
Yeah, he's extremely charming in Little Women. Okay, and then the third one is this movie that's lesser known called The Atlantics.
Okay, I don't know.
It's on Netflix now. I'm assuming it's on Netflix in the UK as well. And it's a foreign language film. I think it won. I don't know if it won Palme d'Or, but I think it was at Cannes. It's made by a French female filmmaker, and it's a story about immigration and about the women who are left behind, but it's also got magical realism in it. And I think it's really, really entertaining and just so beautiful and meditative.
Well, I feel like we all need a bit of magical realism at the moment. I have to say certainly a little bit of magic would help.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what's nice about all of these. Well, I don't know about Little Women, but definitely Invisible Man and definitely Atlantics. There's this sense of sort of like justice and a little bit of like magical realism to take us out of the harsh realities that we have to face in life normally. So.
Absolutely. I was going to ask you, I know you're isolating with your husband, Sebastian, I think. How do you have any, we have our own struggles, me and my girlfriend. We go through, you go through your ups and downs and your long days and do you have any advice for couples that are isolating together and how hard that can be?
Okay, so a couple things. Don't spend the day together. I mean, we kind of naturally do that because we both have to work, but I would say like we have maybe a 7-hour day where we're just in other rooms and we're working or we're doing whatever we're doing separately.
Yeah.
And then I think it's really nice to make dinner together or spend some quality time just like sitting down and talking. And you can literally just talk about the news, whatever else, but that's sort of not just like going to bed together, but actually like having an intentional sit down conversation. That's really nice. But yeah, spend at least 7 hours separate.
I like it. So we've got loads and tons of questions in, Emily, as you can imagine. I just might ask you a couple.
Sure.
One from Zach. He asks, what 3 people would you want to be in lockdown with?
Oh my God.
A good one.
On the planet Earth, alive or dead? Do we have any rules?
Let's do alive or dead. Easy.
Okay.
Either or. Free reign.
Okay, well this is fun. Well, since I'm reading all this bell hooks, I would have to say bell hooks right now because I've just got 3 of actually one of her books just arrived. And the title of it's The Will to Change Men, Masculinity, and Love. And my husband was like, I think this one's for you. He's like, I don't think this one's mine. I was like, oh, did I order that? Whoops. So she would be cool to have here. Why don't we say Prince?
Nice.
I feel like he'd be really entertaining. Every day would be a new version of Prince and great music at all times.
Good
and
then shout.
Maybe like Bill Murray, like someone really funny.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, I would love to be in isolation with Bill Murray.
Right? Like I would love that. So, I think those 3.
Good shout. And let's have one more. Have you had any? This is a question from Kathleen Johnson out there. What's the weirdest dream you've had since being in isolation? Have you had any? Because I know people have been saying they've been having weird dreams. But I know we've had a few in this household, certainly.
So I actually did a Q&A and someone asked me about having nightmares and I was like, oh, well, I've been having insane nightmares, which everyone has been having, but I do recommend taking melatonin gummies. They help. And then I looked, all these people responded and were like, melatonin causes nightmares. So I've since stopped taking melatonin. I'm very happy to report that. The craziest dream I've had, the weirdest dreams I've been having, they're like just a little bit out of touch from reality. Like Columbo's a baby and we're sort of still in quarantine, but I'm in a totally unfamiliar place. And I can't get too personal here with the dreams.
Hey, come on. Hey, listen, it's just me and you, Emily. It's no problem.
Yeah. Definitely. I think everyone's been having insane dreams. So
fantastic. Listen, I am going to thank you so much for coming on our first show. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you. Let's say goodbye to Columbo, please, because it's the start of the show pretty much as well. Bye, Columbo. Yes. You've been a superstar,
really
Emily.
Excited to be included in the graphic, the invitation that you guys made.
So. We're really pleased. I'm glad he was happy. And we'll talk really soon. And thanks again.
Thank you so much. Stay safe. Thanks for getting so dressed up for me. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Stay safe.
You too.
Goodbye. Amazing. So there goes Emily. I hope you all enjoyed that. Well, she was fantastic. Okay, we had some questions. And now we're going to go straight into round 2. Our next guest. Here we go. He is Britain's answer to magician's David Blaine, but he's better than that, really. Tonight sees the start of our next guest's brand new television series, his first in 5 years, called Beyond Belief. It's on at 9 o'clock on Sky One. He's the UK #1 magician. His mum knows him as Stephen, but the world knows him as Dynamo. Dynamo, are you there?
I'm here. How are you doing?
Very good. How are you doing, Stephen? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. You're looking sharp. I like it.
I mean, look, this is how I flirt around my house, like in isolation, just most days.
I mean, I was going to say, you know, you did it for me, but it was clearly for Emily, obviously. Understandably.
Not true, not true.
And some great book recommendations from Emily there. I'm going to be checking some of those out.
That's really good. How are you doing? Listen, it's really good to see you fit and healthy, because I know that you've had coronavirus. Is that right?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of still coming out of the back end of it, still a little bit groggy, but I'm doing so much better now. And, you know, I'm just trying to get on. There's people out there who are in such a worse way than how I had it. You know, mine was probably quite mild. So, you know, my thoughts go out to all of those people. And, you know, I just hope that we manage to kind of find a way to get an end to the coronavirus as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's really tough for everyone. I mean, I know I'm going to mention this now, but I'm going to mention it again at the end of the show. Tonight is Thursday, of course. Everyone at 8 o'clock, let's go outside your windows and clap for the carers. It's a really important thing. I know exactly. We'll all be doing it here. I know you'll be doing it there, Dynamo.
I want you guys to clap so loud that we can hear you from here in London or wherever you are. It don't matter if you're up north, in Bradford, where I'm from, or you're in London. I want to be able to hear you clapping so loud at 8 o'clock.
Right. Absolutely, absolutely. We're all going to be doing it. So I wanted to know, you've got your show tonight starting at 9 o'clock. Is that right?
Frozen up at the moment.
Oh, you're freezing up. Are you freezing up? Is that better?
Yeah.
That'd be better. You're back
9
again.
p.m.
There we go.
Yeah.
You have your Dynamo. Yes. Tell us a bit about that. I know it was a tough thing. Even the filming of that show was tough, right?
Yeah, when I started filming it 3 years ago, I was all set, you know, ready to make the new show. And then I ended up getting food poisoning, which combined with my existing Crohn's disease, put me out of action, had to put the whole show on hold for 2 years whilst I was in and out of hospital. But I ended up using the time in hospital to create all the magic that ended up in the show, because I was told initially that I wouldn't be able to perform magic anymore using my hands because I developed arthritis as one of the side effects of it. So I was like, right, well, how can I do what I do without being able to like pick up cards or do any of the usual stuff, which thankfully I've managed to get that skill set back now. But whilst I was in hospital, I started to create all new magic with this new perspective in mind, but I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. So I need to come up with some new ideas. And all the support that all my fans gave me spurred me on to want to make something special from it. And I think I've created a show that is so meaningful to me because it's come from a dark place and I've created something positive from it.
It sounds amazing. We'll definitely be tuning in. But what did it feel like, Dynamo, to be told back in hospital then that you might not be doing any more magic, that might be it?
If I'm being honest, I did feel like I had no reason to live anymore in some respects, because magic and performing magic has been my identity for as long as I can remember. It's the one thing I love more than anything other than my wife and my dogs. I had to get that out there just in case she's watching. But yeah, magic is the thing that's always kept me going. And when I almost lost that, it was heartbreaking. For me personally, it was the worst thing I could ever hear, the worst news ever.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know when I've spoken to you before, Stephen, and I know you've been, you know, your life hasn't been particularly easy. I mean, you picked up magic because you were being bullied at school, essentially, right? That was your way out.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, I didn't grow up in the nicest area. I got bullied quite a lot for being quite small and skinny. And I was kind of an easy target in some respects. My father was in jail. You know, my mum was very young when she had me, so I didn't really have anyone to guide me. So at school, I got bullied a lot. And my grandpa, he always used to do magic. And I was always amazed by it, but I never thought it was something that I would do. I just thought my grandpa was this wizard. And he picked me up from school one day saw these guys throwing me into a wheelie bin, and then the next day he taught me how to stop them being able to pick me up, so that way they wouldn't be able to put me in the wheelie bin anymore. I thought, I'm going to try this and people are just going to laugh at me, it's not going to work, it's going to be terrible. But then I ended up trying it the next day, it worked, and that was my first intro into magic, and I've kind of been doing it ever since.
So I mean, you always felt like you had. I remember you telling me before, you almost had a superpower. It's like you kind of had it wasn't just a trick for you. It was, you could feel, I guess, the power you had over your own bad situation and what you had over others.
Yeah. Like it gave me a newfound confidence that I didn't have, and I've kind of used that throughout my life. And it kind of, without these adversities, I don't think I'd be the person I am. So in some ways, they're a blessing in disguise. And I think, everyone right now around the world is stuck in isolation. We're doing this live in this way because we can't go out. So I think, you could look at it as like, oh no, we're all stuck at home. Or you could be like, okay, we're stuck at home, but now this is the perfect time to read that book that I've always wanted to read, or to try and learn a new skill. So, if you flip your perspective on things, then it can really help you. And that's an approach I definitely have taken throughout my adversities. And hopefully
what was the first trick?
What was the first
trick that you learned?
It was how to stop the bullies picking me up, to be honest. That was the first thing I ever learned. Yeah, but that was the first thing I ever learned from my grandpa. And yeah, I still do it to this day. I've done it with, obviously I'm obviously a lot bigger, so it's harder for people to lift me anyway. But I've had people like, boxers like David Hay, who's he's a boxer and he's massive, right? And we know he's a tough guy, but he can't lift me up. So I've still got it.
That's amazing. So tell me about, because how did you work your way from the schoolyard? And I know this is an interesting story, to say someone like Snoop Dogg's dressing room, because that, you went out there and hustled basically, didn't you?
Yeah. So early on, being a young lad from Bradford, I developed some big ambitions, and I wanted to kind of, go perform magic everywhere and try and get a TV show. But the TV companies weren't taking me seriously. But then YouTube came around, and the Prince's Trust also came around, and the guy from my local youth club, Emil, introduced me to a guy called Tony. Turns out Tony knew this guy, Prince Charles, who has the Prince's Trust, and
whoever he is.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. And he ended up giving me £2,000 to start my business, to buy a laptop and a camcorder and start making YouTube videos. And the idea was, me and my mates would just go, we'd use some of the money to buy tickets to concerts. So thanks, Prince Charles, for getting me into the Snoop Dogg concert. Use that money wisely. Trying to get millions of views, and then TV companies started to take notice.
There you go. You came back to me. I think you were going a tiny bit crackly there. I know the story. I hope the viewers got the story. It's a good story. But
yeah,
I know you basically went out there and hustled. It was a good one, Dynamo. Thank you for that. Listen, the sound's gone a little bit funny. I think. Are you in a basement down there? Something? Where are you? Are you in your bedroom? Are you in a bunker? A magic bunker?
No, I'm actually. I'm in my kitchen. I've got a ring light set up and everything. I've got amazing internet industry. Yeah,
Well, who knows what's going on? Yeah. Who knows? It's probably the aerials in North London aren't as good as they should be. Quite frankly, I'm sure that's probably the case. So I wanted to also just mention about Are you really a member of the Magic Circle? Does that thing exist? Does it really exist?
It does exist, and I'm in a Magic Circle member. I'm the highest level member that you can actually become.
What benefits do you get from being in the Magic Circle? Do you get like a gold card?
I can do
Do you get Tesco points?
I can do whatever I want. Yeah, Magic Circle is my house. But yeah, I'm a member. I'm so proud to be part of such a prestigious.
Oh, you're gone. You're gone again. You're going again. Oh, I don't know why, but I'm getting a bit of crackle here, Dynamo. I'm really sorry. We are a bit crackly.
I'm good now. Are you good? Can you hear me?
That's a bit better, I think. That's a bit better. That's a bit better. Yeah, it's okay. Hey, we're all taking it easy here. No problems. But as long as you can hear me and I can pretty much hear and see you, and the viewers are doing all right. Listen, I know you've got your so you've got your show on at 9. We're very excited to see that. Dynamo, it was you know I'm gonna love you and leave you. It was amazing chatting to you. We're all gonna tune in. And next time you come on, you got to do a trick for us.
We can try one now.
Yeah.
Real quick if you want.
Please.
Because while we've got good connection.
Please, that'd be amazing.
I'm going to try something.
That'd be great.
Interactively. I'm going to take my watch off. Obviously, my watch is. You can see the time right there. That is exactly what time it is right now. Yeah, 6:36.
Yeah,
I'm going to set a time. I'm going to set a time right now. Now, we haven't set anything up, right? But I want you to think of a time that's important to you. Have you got one?
Yeah.
And start by just to begin with, name the hour.
Name the hour. So I tell you the hour I'm thinking of. 2.
Oh, no.
2 o'clock.
Just name the hour.
2. The hour is 2. Yeah, 2. Write in the comments, guys. You can hear it. 2. 2. Did you get that? Stephen, you get the 2? Oh, it's gone. I think he might be gone. I think we might have gone. Oh, dear. Oh, no, I can't believe it. We nearly got a magic trick with Dynamo. Is he still there? Just about to do the trick with Dynamo, but he's gone. Wow, what a shame. I don't know how good the connection was there for you guys. Sadly, we lost it. The magic sadly didn't happen for us. Okay, this is it. This is our round 3 for our last and final guest of the show. But it's certainly the most stylish. Please, can we give it up for GQ's fashion director, the one and only Luke Day, if we can find him out there. Let's see if he is being... Yeah, there we go. He's requested. Luke, you are going to be added. You're coming to me live from some sort of... from the fashion cupboard, but I'm sure a glorious fashion cupboard. Luke Day, are you out there? I know you are, because there you are. Look at you. You are a vision, an absolute vision, and boy, am I glad to see you.
Hi, Johnny. How are you?
Very good. Have you enjoyed the show so far? And just be careful.
Yeah, I need to get the book recommendations that Emily said, actually. I think they sound really interesting.
Yeah, she's great. She was a really good sport, and she's been great. We had a bit of a few technical difficulty with Dynamo, but hey, what can you do? You live and learn. You live and learn. How has your day been, Luke? What have you been up to today?
Well, I kind of structure my days almost like I'm home tutoring myself. So I have an hour-by-hour schedule. I get up, I have my breakfast before the GQ Zoom meeting that we're always on every morning.
Absolutely.
And then this morning, so I do a meditation after that.
Nice.
And then I did a workout at 12. And then today was my weekly shop day. So I actually went and queued outside a supermarket.
Wow. Now what kind of look are you serving for a shopping queue? What kind of looks are you serving outside? Presumably, what are we talking? An organic grocers, or is this
I went to Waitrose.
Of course you went to Waitrose. Of course you went to Waitrose.
And I wore my gym kit. So I was wearing like a little 80s Nike vest and short shorts.
Very nice. Now, Luke, I know you are the sort of person that wears shorts in November. I've seen you in shorts in November.
I've worn shorts when it's snowing. So yeah, I always wear shorts. I don't think I've worn trousers since we've been in isolation. So
no. Why? Hey, why? Why would you?
No, there's no need.
Why would exactly? Now, listen. You're not only are you a fashion director, of course, of our amazing titles, GQ Style. Can I call it? I'm sure you don't want to be called this, but you are an influencer to a certain extent. You influence people, right? But
I like to think that I'm influential, but not an influencer.
There we go. Okay, that's the way to say. That's the way to say it. Now, I don't know what your flat is like. You've got a very lovely bit of greenery going on there, but are you running out of places to take selfies? Are you having to get very creative?
Yeah, it's quite limiting in my house. I don't really ever take pictures in here that much. So yeah, it's challenging, I would say.
Okay, that's good. Now listen, this is not my idea. You take full credit for this because it was an amazing idea. We're going to do a little run through, aren't we, together? We're going to do a little bit of isolation bingo, I think you named it.
Yeah.
Which I loved, I have to say.
I feel like it's the question that basically you haven't isolated unless you've done these things.
Okay.
Or maybe not. So
okay, well you start because I haven't.
I'm really intrigued to know anyway. Have you baked banana bread?
I have not baked banana bread. In fact, banana bread, there has not been banana bread baked in this household, which I feel always bad about. Valentine is off camera now looking at me like, how could you say that? Not this isolation, have we? No. Okay, no, we have, not during this 3-week period of isolation. No. Have you, Luke? What about you?
No baking in this house.
No baking at all?
Well, cooking, but not baking.
Right.
There's a difference.
Is there gonna be any baking?
No, I'm not a baker.
Okay, no baking. Quickly on. Now, the second one was shaved your head. Now, you're a man with a beautiful mane. I can't. Oh, have I seen you with a shaved head?
I had a shaved head in my mid-20s.
Right.
But I'm not shaving my head.
I want to bring someone on. Can I bring someone on very quickly?
Yeah.
Okay. This guy, if you can see, is Lewis Capaldi. Luke, you're looking confused.
Yeah.
Now, we have asked him a number of times to come on the show, to be on our cover, and as much as he wants to, he's never found time. Now, I have this cutout of Lewis Capaldi here, and he's going to be on every single show until he actually comes on. And when he does come on, please, fans out there, if you screenshot this and send it to him, please take a screenshot, send it to his account. I will shave my head, and that's why I was linked to this story. If he comes on, the real one, not this fake one, I will shave my head live on air. There you go. That's my commitment to you.
I'm going to make it happen for you.
Thank you, Luke. I kind of appreciate it, but also it'd be a disaster. Okay, number 3, please.
Are you going to bleach your hair? That's the next rite of passage.
That's a good question because I did bleach my hair when I was very young. Well, as everyone did with Sunny. Did you do that, Luke?
I had bleached hair for most of my adult life, really. So
that's true. Yeah. So, but is it dyed? Can I ask? Is this improper to ask a man of your stature whether he dyes his hair now? Can I ask you that?
Oh yeah, I dye my hair now.
Okay, good. So, but would you bleach it again? Would you go back to the peroxide looks?
No, I don't think so.
No, why not?
Because I did it, and I feel like that's like a different lifetime. It's almost like I feel like we kind of go through different kind of transformations during our lives, and that was almost like a different person to me in a way. It's a different chapter.
It is a new chapter, exactly. Hopefully this chapter, not us talking, but the chapter we're all living through will finish quite soon. Okay, so let's see the next ones you've got. Upped your intake in alcohol. I have to say, can I say something? And this is just probably because Valentine, my girlfriend, it doesn't drink as much as she used to. Actually, my alcohol, my intake has got. I have like a glass of wine on a Friday night. That's pretty much it, and obviously tonight, but not too bad. What about you?
I think that I'm drinking way less because I don't really drink on my own, and I don't drink at home. So, and I think so much of our life is so social. Like we go to so many events, so I end up drinking quite a lot when I'm working. So actually, this is like quite a nice little break from it in a way. I mean, I've had a couple of drinks on, you know, like FaceTime calls with family and things like that, but otherwise, not really.
Now you might have to feel like you're under duress to talk about this or to give me a certain type of answer, but I think this is quite interesting. What are you missing about the office? Or what are you missing about, I guess, are you missing anything? I mean, we seem to be living our lives quite nicely here in sort of, you know, well, me sort of a rural idyll, apart from the children.
I miss working, and I love my job and I love what I do and I love doing shoots and creating images. So I miss doing that. But I will say that I'm definitely making the best of like a bad situation here. You know, it's like we're into isolation, but I'm not bored and I'm really happy in my own company. I'm on my own and I am taking advantage of this kind of imposed break.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep going. How are we doing? Okay, so posted your home workout. I know you've done that, Luke, because I see it pretty much every day and it's pretty fierce.
Well, I kind of think I post them more just because it's a way of like, you know,
it's content.
Showing people what I'm wearing, really. That's, you know, that's not like, oh, I'm working out, because I'm not really good at them, but it's more about, you know, I'm wearing clothes.
Now, what about watch Tiger King? I mean, have you done that?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like anybody that hasn't needs to do it. I mean, it's a rite of passage.
Absolutely.
I'm shocked when people say they haven't.
Can I say, I'll be honest with you here. I was just shocked with the kind of the cruelty to the animals. I'm a big softie, but the kind of pulling out of the tiger cubs from basically away from the mother as soon as they're born to be petted by a bunch of, you know, kind of quite frankly overweight tourists. I didn't dig it. I couldn't dig it.
I think that, you know, the content is upsetting. I mean, what they're doing, it is animal cruelty.
Yeah.
So I'm not condoning that, but I think that it's a fascinating story, and it's like a fascinating character study of, you know, of actually kind of what America really is, you know.
Yeah. How about now? You have to answer this. What about Joe Exotic's style? Is it thumbs up, thumbs down?
Oh, it's a thumbs up for sure. I think he's actually it's quite iconic. And
I think he's going to make it onto potentially a best dressed list, not too far from the future.
I mean, I've heard the word cover. You know,
so. Don't tell Dylan if you're watching. He didn't say that. Okay, let's do a few more because you know what I'd really like to get is some questions from our lovely viewers who have been sending them in. So I'm sure we'll get some questions very shortly.
Can we do these? We could do these really quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
So, I mean, for example, like, are you growing a beard? Obviously not.
No.
Okay, I am.
Are you?
Yeah.
Well, how big is it going to go?
I don't know. It depends how long we're inside for. This
but
is the longest I've ever had before, so.
Okay, this is what you can be. This is going to be good. Can you recommend any? Because I get to a certain level of, you know, beard, and then it's just so rough. It gets rough, and you know. No one likes it. No one Valentine doesn't like it. The kids think I look weird and like creepy. How do you maintain that a lush beard? You must have some lotions and potions.
I've never tried growing one before. I didn't even know if I could. So this is like the trial. So I guess that when everyone else is shaving their heads or bleaching their hair, I'm doing this because I can see how it is without anybody feeling it or, you know.
I wanted to, you know, there's one on here that I wanted to ask you about specifically.
Tell me what.
You know what it is, about hooking up. Have you hooked up in isolation? Is that even allowed? Should we even be talking about it?
No, of course I haven't. I'm here alone. I'm just hooking up with myself.
Very good. Okay, let's do some more. You mentioned, now this just shows me for the 40-year-old and a bit, white man, straight white man that I am. What's an OnlyFans account? Please tell me. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
I know. There you go. That's terrible.
Okay, so it's a subscription service that you pay for where basically people produce their own X-rated content and you
Right.
subscribe per month
Okay.
and you get to see pictures and videos, but it's quite rife. It's actually kind of you actually, if you delve into it, it's quite amazing that so many people have them, and so many more accounts have been created recently because you can make a killing. So say if you charge $10 a month per person, and you've got even 100 people following you, that's
Wow. So how much are you making out of your account now, Luke?
Things haven't got that bad yet. Also, my Instagram is basically like an OnlyFans account anyway, so
yeah,
I give it away for free.
That I know is true. Okay, no hooking up. What about have you met up? Were you met up with friends, but with social distancing? Bearing that in mind, have you done that at all?
No, I've only left the house to go to the supermarket. That's it.
Wow.
I haven't seen anybody.
Well done, you. Okay, so I have a few questions from the outside world, from the lovely viewers that have been watching and sending them in. Here we go. So here we are. This is quite an easy one. What's your favorite fragrance right now? I mean, do you even have, the thing is, if you're not going out and seeing anyone or, interacting or hooking up, I mean, surely you just go eau de Luke.
I don't know. No. I'm if anything, I feel like we get more time to kind of work on our grooming rituals. It's like I have like a bath every evening, and I'll put some, I'll try out a new fragrance because then maybe I can see how it sits on myself. So
nice.
That sounds really like, fancy, but
that sounds lovely. But I tell you what I'm going to do straight after this. My 2 kids are going to come and stay with you for a week. Is that okay?
Why?
Well, because then you get lovely. Then you get full. You'll feel the full relaxation of the children that need endless amusement around you 24 hours a day.
Are they good at housework?
You should put them to work straight away. That's what I'm saying. That's my advice to you.
I'm trying to reorganize my wardrobe, so maybe they could come and help me.
I mean, believe me, they'll be arriving in Addison Lee tomorrow in a cardboard box. Okay, one more question for Luke, I think. This is good. What's been your favorite GQ shoot you have worked on or with, I guess, with a celebrity or a model, and why?
I guess, I will say that the shoot I did with Timothy Chalamet and Armie Hammer was a particular highlight. I mean, also because there was some amazing rapport between the two of them, so they felt really unguarded and candid on the day. So the stories they were telling off camera were quite brilliant. I mean, Timothy was talking about when he was dating Lourdes and he would go to Madonna's house. So he was telling quite
nice.
Stories that would never have made it into an interview, but he was candidly just telling us about those, and they were actually having a real laugh together. So that was a really special day, and also I think they're quite seminal covers. So
that was a great cover, and you got in there. You were in there.
It was his first magazine cover, so
yeah, I mean, amazing. They're fantastic, and as you know, I've had my own time with Armie Hammer, which we might say, the story of which we might save for another show. But Luke, I think that's all we've got time for. You've been absolutely amazing. What are you drinking, by the way? That looks very interesting.
It's vodka, but it's with steeped ginger water.
Oh, nice. So so healthy, but still getting you lit.
Yeah, basically.
Amazing. Luke, I love you so much. You know I do. You're amazing. Just actually one more question. I knew I had to ask you this question. How many cowboy hats do you own?
Only maybe 9.
9?
About 9, I think.
I mean, that's not bad. Where are they all kept?
They're kind of some of them boxes, some are scattered around. There's a couple over there.
Amazing, Luke. You're a superstar. Thank you for coming on. You've been an amazing guest.
Pleasure.
I miss you a lot.
Congratulations, Johnny.
Thank you, Luke. We all miss you. I miss you a lot. See you very soon.
I'll see you on the other side.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Fantastic. Cheers. Thanks, Luke. Amazing. So, guys, I think we're through it. I hope you and Luke is just on his way out now. There we go. Perfect. It's been real. It's been emotional. Thank you so much for watching. That's all we have time for. Next week, please come and join us again at Thursday at 6 o'clock. We've got James Bay, the musician James Bay, is going to be doing some music for us. We're going to have Tiny Temper. We might even have Raven Smith, best-selling author, come and read us out some of his amazing book, which has just hit the stores. So just one more public notice before we go. We're nearly over. Listen, it's now about 7 o'clock. Go outside at 8 o'clock. Clap for our amazing NHS workers. Make some fucking noise. You know they deserve it. I hope you're all safe out there. And all I can say is remember, keep your minds filthy, but keep your hands clean. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Take care. Wait.